Well, good evening from the workshop. It's Saturday evening. Where are we now? It's the 2nd of July 2020. And I'm going to be expanding on a subject I covered the other week because I've been asked a question about how you control the speeds on this. I don't think I made it possibly clear enough last time when I was doing the one about threading, so we're going to go into it in a little bit more detail. There's going to be some maths involved. Yeah, I know it's not my greatest subject, I must admit. I do have some notes here, so, and anything if I get it wrong, either you guys will correct me or I'll put it in the notes. Right, so controlling speeds. Speeds of the lead screw, I might add. The lead screw, bring that down. Lead screw is this little dealie here, runs this carriage. Yeah. Now, for each turn of this lead screw, right, so that's 360 degrees. I'll read it off here. For each rotation of that lead screw, 360 degrees, it moves the lead screw 2 millimeters, or 0.08 of an inch. So that's what, 80 thou? I think that's right. If it's not, I'll correct it. I'm sure it came up in my calculations as 2 millimeters. It's not a lot. So to get it from one end to the other, it's going to take a fair bit. Now, as we've seen before, when we were doing screw threads, we have a calculator here, and basically it's working out the gear ratios for you. So according to, because we don't forget we've got, move it down a bit, we've got these two here, yeah. So we've got high gear and a low gear. Now, I can't find out what the ratios of these are, yeah. So these calculations are going to be off slightly, possibly off quite a bit, because on the standard setup, these are going to give a feed, there we go, a feed of 0.15 teeth per millimetre. Yeah, we're going to be using metric here because it's easy to convert that way. And this way, in this position, is giving us a feed of 0.075 teeth per millimetre. Yeah? So it's a very, very fine pitch. And as we discussed last time, as you change the gears, so the pitch will change. So say what we've got is all using the gears to give us a ratio in this gearbox. Like I said, not this one, but this one, because I can't calculate that one because I don't know what size gears are in there, and I'm not taking my headstock apart just for you guys, okay, just to let you know. So in here, this is what we're talking about, and we'll discuss, we'll go in the back there and have a look, we'll have a look how we change the gears in a minute. So this in the low speed position, if you like, is going to give us a the gear ratio in here is going to be 0.7. I would imagine that's to 1, or 1 to 0.7. The website I was looking at didn't make it all that clear, but it was a good website for calculating the gear ratios. But anyway, slight digression. So so that's going to give us a pitch rate, right, teeth per millimetre, of 0.5 or 1. Yeah. So if we go right up to the other end, yeah, okay, and that's going to give us, we change the gears again, that's going to give us a ratio of 1.35. Yeah, so it's a bit taller, and we're going to end up in this position with a pitch of 1.5, and here with a pitch of 3, which is quite a coarse thread. So for the guy who asked the question, I'm sorry I forgot your name, I'll add it up possibly on. If you've got your shaft in here, where I've got my finger, yeah, don't worry, there's an interlock here. The door's open, it's not going to run, look. Okay, so your shaft in there, you're running your metal onto your spring, or onto your shaft, and you want to drive this, yeah, you want to drive your carriage forwards, so that it's winding the wire on to give you your compression spring. So, according to the pitch of your spring is according to the speed that you need this to be running at, and according to your calculations. So, using this lathe, as long as you don't want a pitch greater than 3, you'll be alright. Otherwise, you're going to have to mix and match your gears. Yeah, you're going to have to work it out for yourself, because this really doesn't give it. Now, I'll put down below, I'll put a link to this particular website. And it's quite good, very comprehensive. And if you follow the instructions, I'm saying if you follow the instructions, I didn't start with, thought I knew what I was doing, and it didn't look right. So we had to work, I went through it again, did it with pencil and paper, and yeah, I'd messed up on the website. But you follow the website instructions, do as it says, it'll come out all right. So anyway, yeah, so it's just a matter of changing the gears to get the speed you want. Like I say, I can't work out the ratio that's in there. So, without further ado, at the moment we are set, we're at the factory setting. As an aside, yeah, anyone with this lathe, if you haven't already noticed, there are some mistakes on the screw cutting guide. Yeah, only 2 that I've found so far. On the factory setting, on position D, I don't know how well it's going to come up. I might just pop a photograph up. Okay, it says 42, it should be 63 to get that ratio. Yeah. I go by, there's a printed legend on the, you can possibly see it here, this printed legend here. You go by there, you're fine, but you can't always see, because it's sometimes a bit gloomy in the corner there. So yeah, so that should be 63, that one there, yeah, there we go, that should be 63. And down the bottom here, down the bottom, where we're on the Imperial, yeah, where we're doing 20 teeth to the inch, because it's Imperial, and that says it is 27, and it should actually be 42. Yeah, if you leave it as 27, you will not get anywhere near 20 teeth per inch. Ask me how I know. Yeah, so anyway, so there we go. Some mistakes on it. Don't always take what the manual says as gospel. Yeah, because it might not be. It's a Chinese lathe. Yeah, so and it's, don't get me wrong, the manual is very good, but it does have 1 or 2 mistakes on it, and there's a little bit of Chinglish in there. Not a lot, but a little. So anyway, without further ado, I'll there you go, you get more of me. There's without further ado, I'll move the camera around and we'll have a look in the back, and I'll go through changing the gears. Good grief, we're 10 minutes already. Unbelievable. Right, as you can see, this is the back of the lathe. I'm wearing gloves now because it's filthy in here. I keep all this, the back gears well lubricated, so it tends to get a bit grubby. So what have we got? So we've got, there's the motor, idler pulley. That's your main drive into the headstock with a clutch at the top there. I've now got it on the slowest speed, which is about 160 RPM, because you don't want it too fast, otherwise that carriage is going to whiz up there and clank into things. Okay, that then goes into the gearbox that's behind here, that's in there. It comes out on this pinion here, which is, let me get my sheet of paper. Okay, if I don't mind a bit of sheet of paper down there, we'll be all right, won't we? So that pinion there is a 24 tooth, that one's a 50. So we've got a ratio there of 0.48. And then it's driving the gears as they are in the picture, A, B. C is behind B and D. That drive there, that one there, drives straight out through the dog clutch to the lead screw. Make sure I haven't got the lead screw engaged. I haven't, which is good. So that you can double check. Yeah, we're fine. So that you can see it all working. What I'm going to do, I shall depress, because you got the interlock there, the micro switch. I'll just press the button and you can see it all whizzing. At the moment we are geared up. We're in the high gear, and we geared up for 0.15 teeth per millimetre. So I'll just so as you can see, yeah, really fast at the top, really slow at the bottom. And if I engage the clutch, that would then drive the carriage forward at 0.15 teeth per millimetre. Don't ask me what sort of horizontal speed it's running at, because I don't know. I don't necessarily need to know at the moment. Just a quick aside, the two speeds that are, if you like, the factory speeds for factory set, which is 0.15 and 0.075, they're your two standard feed speeds. So when you're doing your roughing cuts, it's 0.15, and when you're doing your finishing cuts, it's 0.075. That's what this lathe is designed to do. I could modify it, but I'm quite happy at those speeds. The tools seem quite happy at those speeds, and I tend to change the rotational speed more than anything else to stop any chatter, which I don't get a lot of anyway. So how do we change it? So we're going to be changing we're going to change it up to the highest, which is 1.35, the ratio 1.35. So what we're going to do, we're going to take that gear off, the two gears off there, that gear off there, swap them around, and we're looking for the gears we need for this is 63, 32, 60 and 27. Now 63, 60 and 27 are already on here. The only one we need is 32, and that one there just happens to be 32. You do get a box of gears with this lathe. It's very good like that. And so without further ado, you can either go out and do your weekly shop while I do this bit, but hopefully it won't take too long. So now I've got a bit of paper down here, because you've got to take that nut off, and the two items there, there's a cup and a washer, circlip off there, circlip off there. You've got an adjuster there, an adjuster there as well. You'll see those because we will be adjusting those as we go along. So when I find out where I've put my screwdriver, there it is. Right, so what we'll do is we'll just loosen this off, and we'll just run this quadrant down a bit, just to give us a little bit of there we go, a little bit of space to work on. So that's at the first gearbox, onto that one. Those two are preset, we don't do anything with those. So what we do is we'll just move these C-clips. Yeah. And this one has a washer behind it, and we take that off, and that should be a 30, which is the one we don't want. So I shall put that on the bench out the way. That's going to be replaced by the 63, which is down the bottom. The next one off is this one. Okay. Put that one there. And on here, I do believe that's the 60, which we want, and that is the 27, which we want. As you can see, they're free to rotate, and you'll see the adjustment in a minute when we come to do it. So this is the last one to come off. Put that on there. Just want the grease off me gloves. You can imagine this is rather a grubby job. So we'll just lock the dog clutch. Now I put new bearings in this end of the dog clutch a few weeks ago because it had gone extremely sloppy, and it was a some of the bearings on this are cast iron, so you've got steel running in cast iron, and if you don't keep them greased they do wear. This one's not doing too bad, so what I did is I bored it out and put a phosphor bronze bushes there, and it's been a lot better. Right, take the clutch off. Now what you've got in here is we take this one off, and that is 63. What you've got in here, you possibly can't see, there's a pin holds this block to the shaft. It has a tendency to fall out on new lathes. This one has been apart a few times, and I've enlarged it, shall we say, so it's a bit of a snugger fit. So we'll go from this backwards now. So the first one we want is the 27, which is this teeny one here. So that can go on first. When we get there, there we go. Put that on, and that on. It is just a standard 10mm nut on that. Nothing special. I've replaced the original with a lock nut. And don't do it up too tight, otherwise it'll bind the shaft. Take clutches off, clutches on. Yeah, that's working fine. Okay, that's a bit tight, so we'll just give it a little bit of a tweak. That's better. That's better. Okay. Next one then is B on the list, which is 60, which we said it was. I think it's that one. They've all got numbers stamped on them, so that's going to be that one. Come on. Okay. They're a close-ish fit, but we'll adjust those up in a minute. Next one is 32, which is that one. And that one is going on the top there. And now we'll pop that circlip in. I'll keep that in place. I know it's a bit of a gash way of doing it, but it seems to work. So, getting the mesh right on these two. It's a 8mm head, and then you just move it in so that they engage. You don't want them in really hard together, but just so that you get a firm. So you get a, I don't know what's wrong there. There we go. I might have to go and get some new gears. Maybe these are getting a little worn now. Right. Anyway, last one is the top one, which is 63. I'll put that one on there. Oh dear, my eyesight's getting worse, you know. There we go. Then a washer, and then the clip. Now, this one usually requires a pair of pliers to put it on. This one's quite tight compared to the other one. Let me just go get a pair of pliers just to snug that in with. Don't go away. Excuse the hands and arms and ears and everything else that'll be in the way for a minute. There we go, that's that one. So, okay, just take that off there. So we're in the gearbox here, we're in neutral at the moment, so I can spin these round to engage them. So what we're going to do now is going to bring this back up. And engage those two. There we go. This Allen key comes as part of the toolkit, by the way, because you do get a toolkit with these, so that you can, well, basically to allow you to change the speeds. So what we'll do now is I'll hit the interlock, make sure the clutch is disengaged, so that we don't spin everything up, because everything does move at a fair rate now. So we'll pop it into gear. There we go. So as you can see, your lead screw here is rotating quite a bit faster now. So this is, I won't say all lathes are the same. All hobby lathes like this are the same. This is classed as a hobby lathe. Some of the older ones, like the Harrison that I used to use up at the school, that had back gears and that was open, and that really made a racket. Once again, you change the back gears to alter your feed to your apron, because that was a more if you like, that was a more grown-up lathe, if you like, as opposed to this one. But modern lathes, I think that the gearbox is integrated. So you've got gear levers at the front to select your various ratios, and it's all very controlled. You don't have to go getting your hands dirty. You know, they're three-phase. You've got a motor controller to change to alter your motor speed. You've got an inbuilt multi-speed gearbox that's got all this lot in all the gears, and you just select what gears you want to work with, what gears. But I can't afford those, so you make do with what you can afford. Anyway, slight digression. So yeah, so that's how you change the back gears on one of these lathes to get the desired carriage speed you want. It's not moving at the moment, so let's just crack on. So there's a good view of the lathe. We've already said we're going to be turning 3 teeth per millimetre, so that carriage is going to rocket along now. So we'll start it up. Okay, and when I engage, yeah, that's really going some, isn't it? So well, there you go. I'm sorry the camera's on a bit of a wonk, but like I said, I've just moving it round the workshop. I've just broken the mountain. It's hanging on for grim death there, so I'll have to go on to Flea Bay and buy another one, I suppose. I'm waffling again. So anyway, I hope that helps. It's a subject that I'd never thought about, turning springs on a lathe. I've seen it done on YouTube. Loads of videos on these massive machines, taking huge billets of red hot steel and putting them in this machine, and it just coils it round and round. Absolutely fascinating. But I've never thought of doing it on a little one for sort of springs for models, maybe. So yeah, why not? I don't know. So yeah, to my friend out there, yeah, I hope that's the kind of information you were hoping for. If not, please let me know, and I'll try and make it a little bit more intense or go into a little bit more depth. I mean, like I say, I am limited. But yeah. So anyway, I'm rambling again. So I'll say good night to you all. Stay cool out there. Take it easy. I'll see Rona's back. Yeah, so Rona and the monkeypox, something for us all to look forward to again, isn't it? But hey ho, such is life. It could be worse. We could be into World War III, couldn't we? Or maybe I shouldn't have said that. Am I going to get a YouTube hit for that? I don't know. But anyway, so I'll see you all again on the next one. Take care out there. Bye for now.